We are about to go through the My Home portal, which is the client login portal. And so first of all, I'll show you actually what the client sees, and then I'll run you through a few of the aspects on the items that you can actually set up within the ClickHome site manager or pre-construction system to actually feed this system. So our My Home portal is based upon all information being derived from information that has already been collected within ClickHome and available in ClickHome, and publishing out relevant information to the client. So I'm just going to log on as a demo user. Okay, so the client gets a username and a password, and they must know their contract number to go through. And what you're seeing here is a sample website. So this is just skinned and the sample demo that we provide with the My Home module. But this really is meant for you to be able to go into your own website and have it skinned and designed and pushed in if you need to into your existing design and styles and everything else, so that it looks seamless to your existing website, and it would be available for the login from a button on your homepage on your website. So when the client first goes in, they're seeing a summary of information. So they're seeing their contract number, a welcome screen, basically to say thanks for building with us. This will also show their current contact details, which then enable them to know if they need to inform you to change these details. From this screen here, they'll also see who their supervisor is, pre-site administrator and client liaison. And in our example, we can add a note directly from this screen to either of those, which will push through into the ClickHome system. When they first go in, you can get a summary, which is a textual summary, so it looks like someone's come into the system and written information about what's progressing on their house. So it has a summary of what's happening, what's just been finished, what's currently happening, and then what's about to happen in the next week or so. And so this is really about trying to drive information to the client in a way that it looks like they're getting some sort of customized, individualized response, which makes them feel a little bit happier about the process and feel like they're a special person within this process of building with your company. You can also upload photos which are relevant to the My Home system, and so I'll go through this when you load the items up into Site Manager. You tag a photo whether it's My Home applicable, and then they appear on the My Home photos page. And so here's a list of photos that I've uploaded. And I can click on this and I get a larger image of that photo. If the client wanted to save that photo, they can right click on that and save the image, or copy it. You can use different photo controls, so that's just a sample of one photo control. You can have a photo control which might have an arrow and loop through your photos, so it's really up to yourselves as to how you want to put those items into your system. You can also choose to show progress. In our example here, we show items that are completed with a tick, and we show dates on items for when things are expected to happen. So as you can see in here, we're coming down here and looking at items that are about to happen in the coming few weeks. So on here, we're about to do things like the second clean and the floor scrape, door shelving, mouldings and things like that. It's totally up to yourself as to how you implement, whether you implement as ticks or dates, or some people do weekending dates. So it really depends upon how you want to display this item. It's totally up to yourselves. As I said, this is just a sample website which enables you to run through this. You'll also notice in our sample that we're highlighting areas where the client needs involvement. So in this case, the lock-up claim, roof cover claims, which are the typical items. The other aspect to the items that we're showing in here is this actually shows us items from our pre-construction workflow and items from our construction workflow. So the My Home system can aggregate those bits of information across both aspects and push it out to the client. In your templates, when you set up your templates, you choose which task the client will get to see. There's a little tick box in there which will determine whether the task is applicable to the client to be able to see or not. So in many instances, when our clients implement this system, they will actually go through that template and determine the most critical tasks and some of the either small menial tasks which don't really need to be added here, so it makes the list longer. They'll remove those, or some tasks where they may not want the client to actually know, when the expected date is, may also be removed. Okay, so going on from the progress, we then go into the notes section, and notes are items which you enter into your pre-site or your construction system, and if they're tagged to be My Home applicable, those notes come across to the homeowner in here, and the homeowner can actually reply to these notes, and those notes will go back into ClickHome for people within ClickHome to be able to see the replies to those notes. You can also upload documents to the system. So in this case here, I've uploaded a few documents, whether they be from pre-construction or construction, and then we can see various aspects here, and it's a good spot for the client to be able to come back to and see things like, I want to see my latest contract addenda or my latest plans and things like that. The documents can be pretty much any document you like on here, and as long as the person who's viewing this has access to open that document type, it'll come in. Obviously, if you don't have the file type in the system, then that will come up with search for file, and you won't be able to open it. But as long as if you do things like having them as pictures or PDFs, Word documents maybe, then all those sort of items can be loaded quite readily. So just an example, site plan. I can click on here, and it will go and download the site plan for me. An addenda, I can come in here, and I've got an addenda that's loaded up into the system. And that's pretty much the information that you can go in here. The other aspect which isn't in my sample system but that you could have is quite often, particularly at the summary stage, we may show something like frequently asked questions at the point of time of where you're at in the building, and these are just configured in the database, so it might come up when you're at the brickwork stage with frequently asked questions, something like, why are there gaps in my bricks? And then you have an answer to that. We need to be able to have somewhere where the plaster can grip and join in so that it doesn't fall off and things like that. So it's designed for really two aspects. Trying to give as much information as possible across to the homeowner. Quite often after they've gone through the sales process, they feel a little bit disjointed from the process of building, and the further it goes through from the sales through pre-construction then construction, I suppose the less they are involved. So this just brings them back involved and makes them feel, like that warm, fuzzy feeling of being involved, that they're getting the information they require. The second one is hopefully to reduce some of the questions and queries which occur from the clients on a regular basis. And quite often you'll find that a client will go out or visit their site on the weekend, and if there's an issue or something else like that, they'll sit on it for the whole weekend, and then there's a lineup of people to actually get in to talk to their supervisor or to their client liaison, depending on how your company handles it. And it's really just trying to stop that aspect of people just all trying to get in contact first thing Monday morning and asking questions. If you can put forward enough frequently asked questions or notes, photos and progress on here, hopefully that answers some of their questions. So that's the aim of the My Home system. Obviously we've got a number of customers who already have it out there, and the feedback that we have is that it really does provide a significant benefit to their company. Whether you're a small or a large builder, it is a benefit that clients are now trying to get to with more and more information available at their fingertips. At this point, I'm just going to unmute everyone and see. Did you want to ask something, Tony? With the website here, with the progress or the summary information, you choose sort of what level you implement this at and what can do it. So with the web service, we bring the information in, and I'll show you in Site Manager where we get this information. But we can bring in different bits. You can have static information based upon what summary it's at in here as well. So you might say if we're at the slab stage, you may want to put your own default, whatever that is in that stage. So we basically can push the information to the through the web service, and then you can choose how it's laid out and what they actually see and what they don't see. So there may be aspects in the web service which we push more information than you may actually use. It'll still be there in the background, but you can choose how it displays when you customise the website. Does that answer your question about showing summary information, Tony?
Yeah.
Is there any other questions anyone wants to ask at this point? Sorry, Sam, are you? Okay, so what I'll do is from here I'll continue to go on, and I'll show you how some of this information is set up in the actual Site Manager and pre-site system itself. So I'm going to just open up Site Manager. Okay, so in here I'm just going to go in, I'm going to go in as a system user to start with. So start now. So the job that I was showing previously, which was 31393. So if I go into that job, the first thing that you need to do is obviously you need to enable the user to have a username and password. So in this case here, I've just given them a username and password of demo and password. And the only other information that the client needs then is their contract number. So that's the first thing to set it up. So I'm just going to go through and just show in here the documents. So in here, I've uploaded a number of documents against this contract, and they're the documents that I could see against my home. And you'll notice that you'll see that I've made these ones my home applicable. I can have documents which I upload, and if I don't make them my home applicable, then they don't appear on the my home site. So that's the first area of being able to upload a document. The document you can upload, so basically just give it a title. So we will give so you might say updated plans. You can go and select the document. So if I go into here, and let's say my updated plans were my site plan, and I'll put that in there, then I can make it my home applicable, and then add some notes that I need to do it. So this is an updated plan based upon our latest discussions. I can go and upload. Across there now, and now I can, if I go back to my home page, if I go to documents, that is there and available for the client, the document tab. I'm just going back to the Site Manager side. So that's as simple as it is to upload a document or a photo into the system to have them available in the system. The other aspect, so everything else is, all the dates and all the summary information and everything else is driven by the call sheet or by the progress you're making in pre-construction. And it's all driven based upon the dates completed and not completed. So you'll notice that we had areas around the second floor scrape and the lock-up caster and things like that. So it's all based upon the dates that are in the system, what's coming up, and what's been planned, what's been completed, and that's what drives the system to produce those items. So if I quickly go back now, just go through the notes. So once again, the notes, so in this case here, you would have seen this note here is available to them in My Home. When you add a new note, once again, you can choose the purpose, and if it's to the client, they can see the note in My Home. So that enables you to have notes in the system which are perhaps record only, you don't want the client to see, but you can choose notes which actually go to the client and they can see those notes. If you add a note in here, it goes to the client, so we could come in here and go quick update. I want to send that to the client, and just letting you know that we have now started the site plan, and save the message. That's on there. We go into the client portal, we go to the notes, and you can see those notes, and it's said who that's from. So in most cases, it should be from you, or either it could be from your site manager. So site manager is the person I've actually logged into, so it'll say who's generated that note. And then they can reply if they want to from that area, and it comes back into the system. Okay, so now if we go into the setup of what you need to do as far as the template goes. So in here, we just need to make sure in our templates, so if I go into, this is just a very brief template, but if we go in here and we've got some items in here, when you go into the template item, you'll see whether it says hidden or not. If you hide it, that means that template is not available that item is not available to the system to actually bring across those dates or anything else about that item. So, but if it's not hidden, then there's items that you need to fill in for them to be able to see this work on their system. So, in this example, I don't know whether I'll just go into a different template so that we're based upon that template that job's on, so I can show you the changes. So if I just go in here and work out what template it's on. Okay, it's just on a double story template. So I'll go add in template, double story. And so we saw some information in there that was related to the site clean. So we can go in here and look for that site clean. I can do a control F if I need to. And I might go clean. Next. Next. Okay, just past there. Okay, so here we are, going down to it now, second clean. So we're down here. So now, once I've got it here, so I can see the second clean in here. If I click on that item in here, and go to the text and notes, you can see what's going to be prompted before or after in here, so I can make those changes in here. And this is what will actually be copied when you create the template across in there. If you want to update to existing ones, you can come in here and type it in, and if you go update to all, we'll update to all existing items. So that'll enable you to have that item that comes through. So we can change whatever it says in here. So we can say this is our new instruction on site plan. So if I save this, go to my existing jobs and update to all. So there's been 57 work items updated. So now if I go into my system down here, and I go into my summary stage, then this is our new instruction on site cleaning. So you see it goes and updates that fairly immediately. So you have the ability for your marketing department to come here and make these messages meaningful to your people and everything else. We generally don't have, in the summary side, this is all about an automated process, so we could bring forward things like the contract notes or something if you want to have some sort of common area to actually put this through, or you could bring your notes through and tag them in as notes as a certain discussion type and highlight them when you implement the website. But the way we've done it here is this is to try and make the process as easy as possible, and mean there's no external intervention required for each individual contract. It all just gets self-generated and provides a consistent message across your whole company. So I'm just going to unmute everyone and see if there's any further questions at this stage. Does anyone have any questions as to that setup? Okay, so Tony's asked if we can block who entered the notes and displaying in the portal. Yeah, once again, the information that you see in here, we bring it across, we bring the note information across. If you can modify, this is just a HTML template, so you can modify, if you're using our standard template, you can quite easily modify this and say you don't want to show that area in the template. Generally what we try and do is for most companies who already have a web developer, we'd actually provide the web services to the web developer. We provide the sample website. So that your web development person would actually go away and actually implement each and every individual thing in your own format. Does that make sense? Is there any other questions as to the operation of the system? So I suppose I'd say, really My Home is fairly simple and fairly easy to configure and fairly easy to get going. One of the key things I suppose is it does rely on you having the confidence and everything in your people that are operating your pre-construction and your construction systems to make sure that they're being diligent in progressing jobs, diligent in uploading photos when they need to, diligent in adding notes and information to the system when they need to. And as long as they're doing that in their day-to-day jobs, the My Home system just really self-generates and is a very easy way for you to provide that extra information to the client. So hopefully you've all got